All right, we are live. Welcome to Ashmont Realty Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Ashba of Ashmont Realty and instructor at Honduras College. So, kids are back in school. What's going on with the real estate market? So, if you're thinking about buying or selling, hear me out because things have been doing a lot. Rates have gone down. Now, we're going to talk about July. We're always a month behind. So, let's see what one of the hottest months of real estate, what's going on in Ohio, where we're going to talk about that and much, much more right after this. Come down.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, welcome back. The kids are in school. Everyone's winding down. Summer's almost over. Labor Day is this weekend. So I'm going to talk about what's been going on. Now, we're always a month behind, so we're going to talk about July. July is always the hottest market month for real estate, typically, depending on some weird market change. A couple things happened. Rates actually went down about 1%. You can actually get a loan now in the sixes, which is kind of crazy because we were pushing 7.5, high sevens for the last 18 months, probably. So rates are going down. So we'll see what that happens come next month on August numbers. So let's jump right into it. Let's go ahead and start with Columbus first. We're going to go into it and see how it's faring here. So I'm going to get out my little trusty pin. You'll see here, this July was significantly better, more closed sales than we did, 12% more in July this year over last year, which is great. Now, the things that doesn't look great though is in contracts. We only have 1.5% more homes in contract for the month of July. Now, in contract means the house went up for sale, stuck the sign in the yard. You wrote a contract and we've agreed on something. So in August, that'll be a closed sale. So I don't know. I don't think August is going to be very good because remember, guys, last year was a really rough year in real estate. We were down about 15%. Kind of a rough year. All right. So I don't see August doing very well unless these rates, might start pushing people to sell or buy or whatever come September. So we'll find out. Something else I want to talk about. Let's just look at the year, kind of 2024 compared to what happened last year, where we're sitting. But a couple things. Change. We're only up 4% in sales. All right, 4% in sales. You can see it here on the right-hand side. I'll draw with my little marker. We're moving in a direction, but things are still down a little bit. I mean, from a closed sale standpoint, in contracts, we're up about 4% year over year in total. So we're still pretty behind. Something that you really want to see when it comes to inventory, because inventory means more houses on market, it means more sales, more contracts, yada yada. Is this number down here? So we're about 1 months. That's what that means, months of supply. All right. So for everyone at home that says, okay, that's great, right, Adam? No. To have a really good equal market from like a buyer-seller market, but equal, that all parties are winning, you want to have about 6 months. So we're still in that 1.5. We haven't pushed 2 for a long time. So inventory is really tight still, which means there's not a lot for sale, not a lot for buyers to choose from. And guess what? When that happens, we're still in a seller's market. And when that happens, guys, we have something, like I said, seller's market. And if you look here, look at the prices, in Columbus here. Let's pull it up. So if you see, we are at record, every month's a record, guys, right here. So an average house, Central Ohio, and we're going to touch Dayton next, 365,000. We're up 6%. So what that means is if you bought a house last year at this time, it's worth 6% more. You bought a condo last year at $100,000. It's now worth $106,000. All right. So prices are continuing to go up. So guys, listen, here's a realtor alert here. So for all you realtors that's saying, hey, I'm just going to wait until the market crashes or the market slows down, guys, it's not going to happen. As rates start falling, which they went down about 1% over the last 3 weeks now, guys. As the rates go down, prices are going to go up even more. So that house you've been eyeballing for the last 24 months is probably going to cost you 15, 20, 30, 40, maybe 60, 70,000 more, depending on your price point. If you're waiting around to buy a house, guys, it's just going to cost you a lot more money. Just remember, you can always refinance the house. You can't refinance the purchase. So buy the house, refinance later if you need to. We got clients that are doing that. They bought a house last year at 7.5 and they're refinancing at 6.5. Now 6.5 rates, low sixes, you got to have pretty good credit, guys. So, that's not for everybody. So check with your lender to see. So let's go ahead and let's move into Dayton. Dayton has been on fire, like we said, but Dayton's cooling down a little bit. So let's talk about Dayton. So here we go. We're going to pull up. I always, every month, I always talk about how nice they have it laid out and everything. So what's going, whoops. There we go. I'm all over the place here. So here's Dayton. Let's talk about it. A couple of key things is, from July of this year compared to July of last year, Dayton's up too. It's up 13%. Very similar to Columbus, Central Ohio market as well, because mind you too, they kind of bleed in together a little bit. About where Springfield is where these two MLSs match. So, Dayton is doing about equivalent year over year from July 2024 to July 2023. Now, let's look at year over year numbers. Solds, 11%. There's been about almost 12% more homes sold in Dayton than there was last year at this time. Okay, so that's great. That's really good because, again, remember, Columbus is not near, was it 4 or 5%? 4% or something. So Dayton's ahead of us in sales, which is great if you're a real estate agent and good if you're a buyer, because that means you have more inventory. Something else that's important, if you want to take a look, is this. If you're a buyer, is up almost 23% year over year. So that means there's almost 25% more houses that are on market. So not good for sellers, but better for buyers because there's going to be more choices for you. Compared to last year at that time. And that's great for agents too, because there's more volume, meaning more listings and more options for your buyers to buy. So that means more money for the realtor. Now, last but not least, average price. Guys, if you've been following me each month, 4 months, we know that Dayton has been on is with Dayton, it is slowing down. Dayton has had double-digit year-over-year values, home values for months. I think it's going back to like October, almost 11, 12 months now. Things are cooling off. If you see here, they have officially broke under the double-digit average price. Now they're at 9.74. So with that being said, it's still twice as good as the Columbus market. Now, guys, to put it in perspective, a healthy real estate market increases 3% a year. Dayton is almost 10. Central Ohio is at 6. We're still have huge numbers. It's inflation of these home prices. Home prices are far exceeding than anyone's income and things. So I hope that helps, guys. Break it down. Listen, if you can take anything away from it, is inventory still low? Rates are dropping, which is going to make those home prices even higher because people can afford more expensive homes. So if you're sitting on the bench thinking about buying or selling, you might want to do it. It's going to cost you more and more if you wait around to buy something. So with that being said, this is Adam Ashba with Ashmont Realty, and we will see you next month on the Ohio Housing Report. See you guys. Have a great Labor Day.